What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast, Season 9, Episode 15, Florida Classic Week. As always, I am Ace. The one on my left needs no introductions. Y'all know who he is.
Yeah, your left.
Your left.
Oh, yeah, that is your left. My bad. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm JPeeps. That's Mr. Sassor right there in the middle of us. And, of course, tonight we're going to talk about all of it. We'll talk about the developing news that we've acquired since Tuesday morning, as well as previewing a little bit and taking a little slight dive into what awaits this weekend in Orlando, along with the playoff rankings coming out again and the interest that grabbed. And we'll talk about Ace's favorite part of the show with the NFL.
My favorite part. I don't know about that. I mean, fantasy team been cooking, though. Fantasy team been cooking. Can't lie. It's been a complete 180 from how it started.
And a bittersweet weekend, too, can I just say, for everybody. I know we all agree on what happened this weekend, so bittersweet.
Did the state of New Mexico take
Tennessee losing or FAMU losing or both?
Chiefs losing. Come on.
That too.
Honestly, that felt good. That felt
really good.
The devil magic ran out on one team. Now the next one needs to run out, but it's not going to happen this weekend.
Yeah.
Now the only thing we need, we'll talk about it in the NFL. What else needs to happen to affect the number one seed? But yeah. So as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment down below in the comment section. We're open to all of it tonight. We had a good discussion Saturday after the Valley game from everybody. That was awesome. Let's try to show up.
Shout out Kev from Tally. He showed up for my pregame one.
Hey, yeah, honestly, I know Ace did a good job. I credited him, even though
I thought Junior was playing those, though. I thought Maritovich was playing.
I think we all did, because that was the assumption going in. But then I saw that injury report as I got home, and I was like, oh, well, those three are active, or those two are active. So I was like, interesting how today goes. But yeah, we'll talk about it. There was an interesting 220 meeting today as well too in Tallahassee. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna go ahead and run this intro. Lots of good stuff to talk about. Don't go anywhere.
Run it and gun it.
I see what he did there.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP. This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
So let's go ahead and dive into it this evening. So as we know, FAMU took a loss to Valley this week. Dude, oh my God, bro. I was leaving from doing what I had to go do, which is why Ace did the pregame, folks. And I was like, oh, 7-0. And then I'm on the way home while I'm sitting at a light. I check the score again. I'm like 7-7. I'm like, that's odd. And then I check the score again. It's like 17 to 7, and then it's at 24-7. And I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh boy!" I was like, "I wonder." I was like, "I don't know what's happening," but I'm like, "I gotta get home." So, you get home, you see that FAMU eventually would commit 3 turnovers. Offensive scheme's not working too well, and then of course what develops after the game, and then what develops from basically after the game to Tuesday or yesterday morning, and then here we are tonight. Now again, we have a friend of ours that's up. Is he bent over laughing? Oh no!
No, I want to grab my cord.
Oh, I was about to say. I was like, geez, he just killed over laughing.
I already did that once for the day though, so not too far off.
Oh.
I thought you were going to take another. I thought you were going to take another nap.
Another nap.
Yeah.
Another nap, as he calls it. So let's go right into it. What's wrong with FAMU and how we fix it? Also, too, so Chris was supposed to join us tonight, but again, school comes first. He's in a master's program, so he'll be possibly joining us next week or the week after. So we're rooting for him. We told him go focus on school, go do what he needs to do. So when we get to that bridge, we'll get to it. But this question still stands. What's wrong with FAMU and how do they fix it?
They got to restart the whole thing. When I say restart the whole thing, I mean like rebuild the coordinator positions, start all over. If they're going to run Colsey, I think Colsey's going to get more years. It's not really all on him. But special teams, defense, special teams for sure got to redo. Offense got to redo.
Yes.
Those two first and foremost. Defense, I think, should too, because of tackling issues and coverage issues that showed up this week. Yeah, defense might need a redo too.
Yeah, and the changes have already come in the form of play calling this week. You have Henry Burris, who's taking over the play calling for Coach Henry, who I look, you hear multiple things. Is he still with the team? Is he not still with the team? According to this, I'm waiting on when Allison puts it out there. We'll 100% know. But I mean, Cole's already mentioned, Burris is going to be taking over. But I'm waiting on Allison to finally drive it home and confirm it. But I mean, you hear things. I'm not going to put it out there on the web and then it not be true, and then we look like idiots or we look unprofessional, and then certain things happen. But again, all I know is that's factually true. Henry Burris will be calling the plays this weekend in Orlando, so you will see somewhat of a different flow this weekend. And like Ace said, you got to figure out how you're going to go about this. Now, the one thing working for the defense, or two things working for the defense, with Coach Patterson, is after last week's brutal second quarter, you had 5 straight 3-and-outs. You held Valley to 90 yards rushing. However, you couldn't stop their passing attack. And you got the result you got, unfortunately. But again, strong second half. Hopefully that carries over to the first and second half of Florida Classic this weekend. So, hey, we'll see. So again, I think, and this is also one thing, Ace and Mr. Sassor, that's Chris mentioned, and he would have probably mentioned it tonight had he been here. The personnel's not right. And I think we can all agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, redo. It's going to start with the coordinators and trickle down to the personnel on the team itself. Guys aren't the ones who are it for the team. Yeah. If that makes any sense, that's pretty much how it's going to be.
It makes a lot of sense.
It feels like they don't have the same vibes that they did last year, if that makes any sense also.
Yeah, and Chris mentioned that too, or he was just saying, a lot of it is, he likes Colsey, but I mean, even he mentioned it too, that the offensive coordinator position needed to be changed. The defensive coordinator position needs to be changed. And quite honestly, I think for Coach Henry Burris, this is his job interview these next 2 weeks. So he's going to have to get this personnel right. The good thing is he's a former quarterback. He's listening to his current quarterback more than anybody. So we'll see what happens. And that now presents this one. With Henry Burris calling plays, will offensive personnel issues be solved?
No.
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
We got more issues than just play calling.
And I would agree with that too. That there is another issue outside of play calling. You have, it's just, jeez, dude. Ball security is my
The
thing.
FAMU is gonna have a different quarterback next year anyway. So this season, I don't know. They're gonna just run it out with Richardson. Sure, fine, whatever. Season's pretty much done with anyway. So I would have said if Austin Hooker didn't in redshirt, I would have said let him play this week to see what you got in him. But they're not gonna probably do that because he probably did redshirt. So yeah, I mean, quarterback's gonna be an issue. Running game is gonna be different next year. Your wide receiver core is gonna be completely different next year. We already know that because you already lost what 3 wide receivers. I believe I was talking about Saturday morning. It's gonna be
Well, they only lost Jalen Ward to the portal. Ace Cobb will likely return. You got a comment.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the season's washed, and we know he's not going to be here next year. So, I would have said, see what you got in the rest of the guys in the room. Because if you're going to know what you have in one, I mean, I still think they need to be hitting that transfer portal hard for somebody.
They will. They will. To his point about as far as the turnovers go, now 20 TDs to 7 interceptions, but honestly, too, his fumbles
are the issues.
Yeah, because you had the crucial fumble in the Jackson State game. You had the critical fumble Saturday. You cannot have that in this game because I feel like he's had a turnover. One turnover every week. That's what it feels like, honestly. Because I mean, hell,
and it's not even just with the one turnover is the issue. Also, it's he's not putting up enough touchdowns to outweigh that one turnover. Because when you're only scoring one touchdown, this margin of victory is going to be small. If you're only scoring, your team's only averaging like less than 20 points a game, your margin of error is going to be really small compared to if you're a team who's putting up 30 points a game or 35 points a game when you're like, okay, well, we got one turnover, but we're also scoring 4 more times than the other team.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very true.
He ain't
and they are. They very much are. And that goes back to the timeout that was called after they had basically swung the momentum. They were driving with a shot to go win, and they throw the fader up to Marquez Bell. He drops it, and then they line up to run their next play, and then Colsey fires a timeout. Knowing you still had the 2-minute warning to work with, you had time to go score before that, and then you could have saved that one timeout. So that was a questionable moment as well. So my thing with that is I wonder, did calling timeout kind of ruin the flow of what could have possibly been? But there are also other questionable calls too, such as running a toss on the goal line or running a pitch on the goal line. You don't do that. Just play power football running in. And I don't understand what the mentality was there. So it's little things like that I'm hoping that we see are different this weekend.
I think this if we're gonna pivot over to that game this weekend, this game is gonna be a little close.
Oh yeah. Now, the one thing that I took away from it, watching Bethune play against Texas Southern, and I'm going to go back and see if it happened in other games. You look at Bethune's quarterback, Cam Ransom. He eyes the first read, stays on it, and then he throws it every time. But when you pull him off that first read, the pressure gets home, and he kind of scrambles for his life.
Well, that's kind of what you get with that type of program quarterback. You're not going to get like a guy who's going to be able to go and process the entire field. So if they're smart, they would bootleg him a lot, cut the field in half, make it a little easier for him. But then again, I don't know on that part. But given how they've been playing recently compared to how FAMU's been playing recently, this game is definitely going to be within 2 scores, maybe 1 score.
Yeah, and that's a possibility as well. The one thing Burris needs to do as far as play calling because Richardson's shorter than what Drew Brees was, isn't he? He's like 5.
He's
Drew Brees is
5'9". He's like really short.
Yeah, see, so
He's
with a
shorter
guy
than
like
Kyler.
that, you got to roll him out, man. You got to roll him out to the open field, play action. Where have the play action plays been? He ran it so much with Willie Simmons to a point where it's like you almost knew it was always coming, yet people couldn't stop it. But now it's like it didn't even exist all season. So now it's like maybe that comes back into the fold this weekend. I'm not going to hold my breath and pray for it, but maybe that comes back into the fold this weekend and we see it work out. But you got to do something to allow him to see the field better. Roll him away from the blitz on some type of play call. Something. Because I think part of the issue is when you put him under center, he's not having success. Sometimes if he has to sit there in the pocket, those deep balls are hit or miss. But I mean, I just want him to see the field better for his height because right now he ain't seeing it. And going forward, FAMU needs to recruit quarterbacks that are honestly 6'2" or taller.
It's not even really a height. He's supposed to be a mobile. He's not being mobile at all to overcome the lack of height. He's not an elite processor to overcome his height. Because that's like the two things, right? When you look at like Kyler Murray, right? He's 5'10", barely 6 foot, if anything. He has his legs and he can also process.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Then you look at Drew Brees, 6 foot, but he can process everything. Bryce Young, well, in Alabama, he was able to process everything.
Mm-hmm.
NFL's a little different story, but still, right? He can see a full field and get it to where it needs to be to overcome his height. Andy Richardson can't overcome his height.
Yeah.
So when you're a smaller program like that, you're not getting top talent like that. You're going to have to go to the height and be like, all right, well, we got to get guys who can actually play within a system and not be deficient in certain areas because of physical abilities.
Yeah,
if they're not talented,
they will address that. I think that'll be addressed in the off season. It's going to have to be. I think there, and also too, from what I found out, there needs to be a stronger foothold in the state of Florida when it comes to recruiting. Because quite honestly, I mean, we've seen that story before. I mean, the Joe Taylor era. I mean, a lot of these guys eventually were not from Florida, and there needs to be a stronger Florida presence consistently coming into FAMU. So you can't lose the pipeline with Central Florida. You can't lose the pipeline with South Florida, North Florida, South Georgia. You have to maintain that. And I think that's what Colsey needs to do this offseason because, quite honestly, like, again, Burrs is coaching for his future these next 2 games. Milton Patterson, I think his fate has already been decided. Or his fate, not faith. His fate's already been decided. Coach Henry, fate's already been decided. A couple others, their fate's probably already been decided, or they're coaching for their future at FAMU this weekend. But I do think, regardless, change isn't that coming. Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Yep, the times are changing.
Times are changing for a lot of programs, and I think even for a lot of like the upcoming quarterbacks. I think for the next. Let's say 5 years. I don't know. I know everything looks at it from like year by year, but I think from like a coaching and that management perspective, you look at it from like the next 5 years, and you probably don't look at the next season right away. You probably look at it from the perspective of like the next few seasons.
You also got to think too, right? These current guys coming out, not in the NFL per se, but coming into college, they're the ones who were graduating, or they started high school during COVID, so they're also down a couple years in development.
Yeah.
From how COVID impacted how development and practices and everything worked out for whatever school they were in their area. So you got to factor all those things, and that's why when you look at these next 3 draft classes, right? Lagway is probably the best quarterback prospect in the next 3 years. That's really how it. After Shadur, I mean, Arch Manning does not look that great, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
there's pretty mid, And after that, it's like nobody else.
More to improve with him, I think. And I don't know if Texas is really a good fit for him, per se. But, I mean, I think it's one of the top SEC schools I think he should go to play in. But I think it'd be interesting to see him play after Jalen Milroe in Alabama. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, that might be a little sacrilegious towards the Manning family.
I know.
Yeah, Manning's whatever, go Bama.
But one thing I will say before we do move on here is, and I'm going to hit this home, spoiler alert for Friday.
Mm.
You have a 6'5", 200-plus pound, 230-plus pound tight end that has been on the sideline because of a rift between the offensive coordinator and him, and it's been vocally said in multiple talking circles. Because of change now, get this man involved. When he's on the field, plays happen. Get him involved early and often. This right here could be a deciding factor in this game this weekend. The next 2 weeks. Get him on the field. Reese's Senior Bowl watch list coming into this season. Didn't see the field much because of a rift. These are other factors. This is something this is the part that I left out when I messaged you yesterday morning about all the details.
Mm.
Yeah. So, wait, what'd you say?
Basketball. I said that was wild. Anyways, FAMU basketball. I didn't realize they had Shaq's son. I mean, Shaq's still an a-hole, but anyways, son's chill. FAMU basketball was a little bit better than what they were previous years, even though they got blown out by Florida. It wasn't like an annihilation.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying. A lot of people have been saying they put up a good defensive effort. They held Florida to like 29%.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was impressed. Honestly,
Really impressed.
It's a steady work in progress. I mean, I think, and I met Coach Creary at Convocation at homecoming. I told him we were rooting for him and everything, but I do think that he needs an extension because the progress is there. Out of the previous AD didn't do him any favors, giving him only a 1-year deal. You need to pay that man, quite honestly, because I mean, Lord knows what's going to happen when you get to SWAC play. But I mean, I would pay that man. I think he's earned at least 3 years, or well, should I say 2 years after this year's over. But again, and even the same thing too with Coach Pressure. She's got those girls playing excellently. I think they just need to finish a little more at the hoop, and they need to draw more fouls. Because watching their game against North Florida, they kept it close, but ultimately I think a lack of finishing at the rim caused them to fall behind. Because once it got late, North Florida started hitting shots. But again, progress is better than no progress. It's good to see those two making progress. Quite honestly, we'll see if FAMU's football team can make progress this weekend. I'm going to quote John McKay now when I say this. We've proven now we can't win on the road or at home. We will attempt to come back the next weekend, and we would like a neutral site.
I don't think that's going to make much difference.
All right,
moving on. Get out of this.
NFL next, or we doing
college?
Okay, got it. Also, too, JSU and Southern wrapped up the East and the West this weekend. They'll meet in a couple weeks.
We know who's winning that game, and congrats to SC Central, South Carolina State. Not SC Central. Bro, what the hell's wrong with me? Anyway, shout out South Carolina State for already wrapping up the Celebration Bowl.
Oh, Jesus. This man's claiming victory for the Bulldogs already. All right. Hey, one thing I will say.
I mixed up NC Central and SC Central. I was like, Lord.
You're good. You're good. One thing I will say, and Coles, he wanted to say it, but he didn't say it today at the 220 meeting as it is part of college football with the officiating. Referees, and the reason we've seen two fights, or really one giant fight break out in the MEAC and the SWAC each is the fact that these officials let a lot of things go. Things get chippy and the referees don't intervene and take control of these games. They don't. You don't see this happen in the SEC. You don't see this happen in the ACC. You don't see it happen in the Big 10 or the Big 12 or the Pac-2. So, quite honestly, look, what led to the scuffles, other than the fact that they were better television than Tyson and Paul?
That's true, though.
The fact that these referees aren't really getting involved in these games. The referees need to do a better job of getting control of these games and preventing these things from happening. Stop sitting on their asses.
So, like the Paul and Tyson, it's rigged, is what you're saying.
I'm not. Well, oh, dude,
No, he's saying it's just more entertaining.
They made millions of dollars off of that.
Oh, I know they did.
Millions of,
but it was also pretty rigged. It's yes. Like too good to be true to say that like that was planned to be rigged.
Come on, guys. Yes. We got a 58-year-old fighting a 27-year-old. How do we expect this going to happen?
I know.
That's true. Now, as I correlate that to these fights that have been occurring, yeah, I mean, those fights had more excitement than Tyson and Paul. But outside of that, yes, referees need to get a better grasp on what's taking place on the field.
I mean, you say that, but also it's like on the flip side, like the NBA somehow their viewership's declining before we get into college football exactly full on. It's like if you let guys just sometimes go all out, you know, I mean, sometimes it might actually be better viewing because that's why hockey's kind of popular now. People actually do like the fighting. Like when a baseball bench clear out happens, everybody's talking about it.
That's true. When
you got a game, it's just banging on cans and throwing a ball. It's not very entertaining.
That's true. But I mean, you got to think about it like this. A lot of these kids, you're already working and busting your ass double to try to make it to the league. You can't afford to do something stupid and then all of a sudden now you don't have enough tape to impress a pro scout.
No, that part's true. But, I mean, you do get fights in the NFL. Just saying.
That's true. And again, those guys already
Andre Johnson, most iconic moment is not playing football.
Oh, yeah, Cortland Finnegan. Basically bashing the back
Odell Beckham. Josh, actually, no, I'm not saying Odell Beckham. Josh Norman's most iconic moment is not playing football. Well, besides getting stiff-armed by Derrick Henry, it's fighting Odell Beckham is his most iconic thing. Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree. What's their most iconic thing?
Oh, well, I mean, for Crabtree's getting his chain snatched. This is true. I mean, yeah, it makes for quality TV for enjoyment for us. But
I'm just saying, for us, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Now, should they be having a tighter grip on? Should they be having a tighter grip on the games? Yes, but not to an extent where it's suffocating the game. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense. I can get with that. I can fully support that. That's very true.
All right, now let's get into the college football. Pull up the standings or whatever called the top 25. That's our rankings.
Your rankings.
The board ain't come in yet. No board.
Your rankings are right here. Here we go. So as it stands right now, you got the top 5 didn't really change. You got 2 against 5 this weekend.
4 is just such a fraud. 6 is such a fraud. I don't know what like 6
is definitely a fraud. I don't agree with 6. 4, okay.
I just okay. Penn State probably should have handled business against Ohio State, but like Penn State, when the chips are always on the table, Penn State always lets you down.
I think 6 and 8. True. I think 6 and 8 should switch.
No.
Nah.
Even though the Notre Dame NIU game was bad, like they've been good since, but I don't know, just Notre Dame sitting above 4 SEC schools. That just doesn't sit. Are you sure it is the right ranking? Yeah, it is the right ranking. Almost
it is. Yeah.
Almost be Georgia. Georgia beat Tennessee. Yeah, that's the right rankings. I'm tripping. All right, but yeah, Notre Dame I don't know. Sitting above 4 SEC teams just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah,
Because look at it, right? Alabama, the 2 losses were what? Vandy and Tennessee.
Vandy and Tennessee. Yeah.
Ole Miss, their 2 losses. Oh god, I'm forgetting who the 2 losses were. Alabama, Ole Miss.
Oh, they lost to. Oh my goodness, they lost to LSU.
LSU and Ole Miss, or sorry, LSU and Alabama.
LSU and Alabama. Yeah, that's right. LSU and Alabama. Georgia's 2 losses were Alabama
and Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss. Tennessee's 2 losses were
Georgia,
and Arkansas.
Yeah, right. All those teams are much better than that NIU team that beat Notre Dame. So Notre Dame's loss is way worse than 2 losses that all 4 SEC teams have.
And I'm glad you said that because now I can put this up. What would a win this weekend do for Army? Army faces Notre Dame this weekend.
Get Notre Dame out of there, and put Army. Okay, let me say this: if Army beats Notre Dame and Tulane in the AAC championship, Army is number 12, hands down, no arguments.
Honestly, I think
Notre Dame gets out. Boise State wins out. Boise State's 11.
I agree with that.
I would love to see that.
Boise State would be out and Army would be in.
No, Boise State. No, Notre Dame would be out. Boise State. If Boise State wins out, right? So this how it would be. If Army beats Notre Dame, Notre Dame's gone. Get them out, right? They're done for the year. You would put Boise State at 11, and then if Army beats Notre Dame and Tulane in the AAC championship, they would go at 12.
Yes.
Or arguably 11, actually, and keep Boise State at 12. And then you just move up. Okay. You would move up whoever won the Alabama-Georgia SEC championship game. They would Penn State probably stays in the 4 spot because I don't think they play Ohio State again, and they're probably going to beat Michigan. So Penn State's probably not taking another loss this year. Texas, I don't think Texas is going to be. Are they in the SEC championship?
Texas needs to essentially beat. Right now, it's Texas A&M, and Alabama is your top 3 right now, based off of records and points for and against. So essentially, after this weekend's played, the winner of the Texas A&M Texas game in College Station, might I add, will go to Atlanta, and they will play possibly Alabama. Alabama has Oklahoma this weekend in Norman, and then they play Auburn in the Iron Bowl next week. So I think
Alabama's winning out, so Alabama will go, Texas will go. And then what would happen is if Texas, I think the Big Ten championship is going to be Oregon, Ohio State?
That's it. It gets even more interesting now, too. I'm glad you said that. Indiana's
playing Ohio State this week, right?
Yeah. Here you go. Doesn't Indiana win eliminate Ohio State? Because mind you, Ohio State already lost.
Yep.
They already lost to Oregon, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can't keep a 2-loss SEC team in over a 2-loss Ohio State team whose 2 losses are both top 5 teams.
This is true. This is also true. Now,
if it comes down to if one of Ohio State or Tennessee has to go, Tennessee's probably the one that goes, because Tennessee's loss to Arkansas is way worse than a loss to Oregon or Indiana.
It is. Yes. Yeah, I think that's the way. Yeah.
The Tennessee would probably go. The other thing too with this ranking was this is how the actual bowl projection came out right now, because what they said was, even though Tennessee is 11 and Boise State was 12, Boise State would essentially right now be a conference champion, and then because BYU at the moment is the conference leader, BYU would still get in over Tennessee. And as you can see right there, they would travel to Ohio State. I feel like because of all 3 of us have said, I feel like Penn State's being set up to be put on the chopping block at home. Because I mean, as bad as and as much as we criticize Carson Beck, I mean, I feel like Carson Beck on his worst day can go into Happy Valley and beat Penn State.
Hey, Carson Beck. Okay, we criticize Carson Beck, but I mean, he picked it up in the second half. I ain't gonna say he was a bum.
He did.
He's a bum, but he wasn't like dog crap. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between being a bum and then being doo doo. And keep what I said just now in mind for when we get to the NFL, because there's a certain team up in New Jersey that we're going to talk about with that same exact situation going on, where the dude might be bad, but he's not doo doo. So back to this. Yeah, I wish I had my whiteboard right now because there's so many different things I need to talk about on this. I think Oregon's going to be a shoe-in to win the Big Ten. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave Oregon at 1. I think Texas, if it comes down to Texas or Alabama, right now, probably would say Texas wins it. Now, this is where I wish I had my whiteboard. I think Clemson's going to take out Miami.
Ooh.
I do not trust Miami. I think Clemson's going to screw this whole thing up, and Clemson's going to beat Miami.
I could see that.
Cards on the table.
Honestly.
Cards on the table. If I'm a betting man, I'm not even touching this game as a gambler because I do not trust Miami in this game at all. I think there's a legitimate chance. I think Clemson's taking out Miami. So that 3 spot is going to be really interesting.
Now, see, I like that you said that.
Because that's tough.
I'm thinking as well right now with this. I'm thinking too. Okay, I'm going to scenarios now. If Indiana beats Ohio State say they fall to where they have to travel to an SEC team. Like
I think that happens.
Say again.
I think that happens. If it does happen, I think they could beat a Georgia or a Tennessee.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come to play, especially if it's a primetime.
Indiana's on a Cinderella run.
Yeah,
they are.
The good thing that's working.
If Walker Howard didn't have a brain fart moment at the end of that game, they probably beat Oregon.
Yeah. Now, for Indiana, the good thing for them is even if they do lose to Ohio State, they still have somewhat of ground they can make up for it.
They would be a one-loss team not playing a conference championship.
That's also true too. But again, you got a couple. But thinking the SEC is the cash cow for ESPN. So, yeah.
Well, they shocked us last year and they kept Georgia out. So, it's not exactly the cash cow we think it is.
Yeah, that's true too. And then the thing is, Notre Dame's not playing a conference championship game either.
Honestly, I kind of look at it like this too. With this week, with Ohio State facing against Oregon, Indiana this week. I think the odds are more in Ohio State's favor. So I think if Miami loses and Ohio State wins, I think Ohio State would go to 3.
But I think it would be conference championship gets the top 4 spots, right?
The conference champions get that 4th spot, and then whoever. So, like, for instance, let's say if the season ended today, these are your conference champions, and then BYU wins the Big 12. This is how it shakes out because BYU is the highest like champion outside of the top 4. BYU would then go to that 12 spot. Or let's say, Colorado crashes the party. That's another one.
I didn't even get to that one. This is where it gets interesting because I won't cut you off, but when you go talking about Clemson, right? Clemson's most likely I think Clemson's getting Miami in the ACC championship. Miami has not played Clemson this year, and Clemson's not a scrub team. I think Clemson 2 losses.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken there.
9-2, but they got to play South Carolina, which will not be easy.
If they beat South Carolina, they're beating Miami.
Oh yeah, 100%. I need to see, where is that game being played at? Because that's
Clemson is on bye week this week.
Yes.
No, they're not. They're playing Citadel this week. They play Citadel this week, South Carolina next week.
No.
Yeah, if they beat South Carolina, they're beating Miami in the ACC. Well, even if they don't, okay, let's say even if Clemson loses South Carolina, and they still end up playing Miami anyway in the ACC championship.
Oh yeah, they're conference champion. They're in.
No, they're not. 3 losses. I don't think they would put the ACC champion in. I think if Colorado won out and won the Big 12, Colorado as a 2-loss team takes that 3 spot.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
I'm just saying. I'm in the back right now.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Just
I think 10, 11, and 12 would probably shift. I think those would probably
10,
down.
11, 12 will shift, but I'm talking about for like the top 4 spots, they're going to be reserved exclusively for the conference champions.
Yeah.
So I think 4 is going to be either Boise State or Army, most likely, depending on if Army wins out. That 4th spot would be one of those 2. Number 3 is going to be either the ACC champion or the Big 12 champion.
Yeah. I agree.
And if Miami does end up losing to Clemson in the ACC champion, that's a 2-loss Miami or a 2-loss Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it will come down to it.
The more you talk about that, the more I think it. See, I was going into Miami.
And if anything, if it comes down to it, then you would have Colorado might be the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a Big 12 conference champion.
Yeah.
This can get really interesting and really messy really quick.
Yeah.
I need to go order this big whiteboard. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I really need to order this big whiteboard.
You need to move your like little background around. Just put it right behind you.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it right here. Put it right here.
Yeah. Temporarily.
Temporarily. I'll get little magnets. I'll print out some magnets or whatever, and we'll just print them and just move them around.
There you go.
Ooh. Golly.
Yeah, but this is gonna get messy. I don't think BYU stays in. I think BYU is gonna be out.
BYU
they lost to Kansas. They BYU, Penn State, Notre Dame, I think are the 3 most likely teams to get chopped out from this what it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ole Miss will stay in it. Georgia will stay in it just because neither of them will go into the SEC championship game. Alabama is where it gets interesting because you're going to be a 3-loss Alabama team. But I think they might stay in the back end barely.
Yeah.
You got the wheels turning up here because I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about it because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if Alabama were to beat Texas in the SEC championship,
they'd be 2.
Texas, huh?
Alabama would be 2, and Texas might be like 10.
Exactly, and then that does wonders for Georgia and Ole Miss because then they're guaranteed. Well, should I hope
home game?
Knock on wood.
A home game. They would be guaranteed a home game.
Yes. Damn, we're gonna have a lot to talk about after the conference championship games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah.
That is gonna be. I think after that SEC championship game, boy, I'm gonna have to have a 2:00 episode with Hendrix. I'm gonna call up Hendrix. We're gonna set that up.
Dude, I gotta save the dark liquor from the classic that I'm gonna have this weekend. Gotta save some because that's gonna be a long night.
I'm gonna say looking at it from like what teams on the outside could sneak into one of the back end spots. I think it's definitely gonna be Colorado,
Army.
Colorado will be
SMU's
sneaking
there
in.
too.
I think. I don't think anybody in the Big 12 has a legitimate shot to getting in beside Colorado.
I agree.
And maybe BYU and everything. There too. Yeah. SMU's not in the Big 12.
Oh no, I'm saying like they're on the outside though.
Yeah, they're on the outside, but they're not going into SMU's not going to the the AAC championship game.
You mean the ACC?
Oh, ACC, my bad.
Well, right now,
who's going to the ACC championship game? Clemson or SMU?
Well, right now SMU's at 9-1. Clemson's at 8-2. So right now, SMU would technically, I guess, face Miami, which is a matchup that's way past due from the 80s. That game should happen in the 80s.
But now, to be fair, Clemson hasn't played either of them.
Yep, and then the thing is, too, mind you, so Clemson lost to Louisville, and then SMU, their lone loss was
BYU.
Yeah. So
Nah, but
SMU
looking at
doesn't
this
have a
SMU schedule was a cupcake schedule, though.
It was. Now let me ask you this: do you think SMU could take down Miami?
Probably.
They got a good offense. I don't.
Probably.
They've played two decent teams. Well, I guess if you want to include Pitt in it, then they played 3 decent teams, and all of those games, the opposing team scored over 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
And the lone loss to BYU was week 3, and it was an 18-15 game.
Yeah.
Yeah, what TCU get 42 on you? Louisville had 27. Pitt had 25. And Boston College had 28. Their last 2 games are Virginia and Cal. Like that is like the ultimate cupcake schedule.
Let's see. I want to see something here. As a
Then you
team, what's
compare
SMU's averaging 39?
Well, Clemson also had kind of a cupcake schedule. I can't even lie on that one either.
Yeah, when they ran into somebody.
Their 2 losses were Louisville and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia was week 1. Week 1.
Right now,
that Louisville loss is the biggest issue with Clemson.
Right now, Miami averages 45 points a game. SMU averages 40.
Yeah, I have more faith in Clemson taking down Miami than I do SMU. I don't trust SMU's defense a whole lot. Their offense is good. It's just I don't know if the defense would make Cam Ward make the dumb mistakes he normally does.
Well, right now, SMU plays 2 5-5 teams the next 2 weeks. They play Virginia on the road, and then they host Cal. So if anybody were to get them, you're relying on 2 5-5 teams. Oh, there he is. He's back. Yeah, you're relying on 2 5-5 teams to knock off SMU. So if Clemson wants to have a shot to even get there, they need SMU to drop one. Or both.
Maybe. But I don't know. I think like SMU, man, they just that
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. You're gonna have a one loss either Miami or SMU stuck at 3 over an 8-2 2-loss Colorado team. Kind of meh.
And the thing is I think Colorado can definitely beat SMU. Miami. I mean, hey, Miami will play.
Miami and all that. Miami ain't all that.
They're not.
You get Miami and Ohio State. Anybody from the Big Ten or the SEC, Miami's getting whooped.
What is Boise State or Army? All that too.
Army's one of the top rushing teams in the country. They have one of the best rush offenses in the country. Boise State has a Heisman finalist in their backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Boise State ain't sludges. Miami is Cam Ward makes the dumbest mistakes.
That's their fault. Now, the one thing I will say that the only way I can see Miami and Colorado being a true shootout is the fact that there is a competitive, mutual respect rivalry there between Cam Ward and Shador, and they're both competitors, and neither one wants to lose to the other, unless one just goes out there and has an absolute bad day. That's the only way I could really see this being a game, unless someone just comes with a really good game plan to stop the other. So I want to see Miami and Colorado play. Shit.
I kind of want to. I want to see that too now. Now that you say that, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that, and I want to see. I would like to see, if it was possible, to see Boise State and Army play.
Running. That would be like an 80s dream right there.
Yeah. I feel like that would be like a throwback, like you said, 80s. Oh.
It would be. It's that old brand of running the football and stuff. Army being in a.
It would be like some like high score. It'd be like some ridiculous score, like 70-75 or something.
I feel like Boise State or Army could beat BYU anyway.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think they would definitely beat BYU.
Yeah.
They would be BYU or Indiana for sure.
Very true. Now, oh wait, where is it? There it is. This is our slate for Saturday. Are we ready to make some picks here before we slide to the NFL?
Sure.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, so that first one right there.
Harvard.
That's Howard. Where is Harvard or Howard?
It's
That's
Harvard.
Harvard. Yeah. I'll take the Harvards, please. Thank you. I always mix them up. I don't like Yale,
Clemson?
but I don't like Harvard either, so whatever.
So you're going. So everyone's going Harvard here.
Yes, we'll go Harvard.
Good old Ivy League football. It's nothing like it. Tell you, this is like rivalry weekend before rivalry weekend really picks up. The next one is, and that's not basketball, UConn against Syracuse.
I wish it was basketball. It'd be a better game.
Yeah, I would pick
Syracuse.
UConn in basketball, but I'm going to pick
Actually, I might actually take UConn in both. Give me UConn.
So I'm gonna run through the records real quick. Right now, both are 7-3. Syracuse is favored by 10.5.
Damn.
Syracuse averages 31 points per game, while UConn, on the other hand, they average 31 points per game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, 10 and 32.
Can I say a tie? Just kidding. No.
It's impossible for a tie in college football.
I know, right? I'll still stick with Syracuse.
Yeah, see, I'm going with Syracuse. I like Carmelo Anthony.
His son's going there next year.
Say what? Oh shit!
Really?
It's crazy that he next year, the year after.
Damn, Carmelo.
Yeah, Kyan is better than Bronny. Let's not get into any debates there. Kyan is better than Bronny.
Actually,
and Bryce James is better than Bronny.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the topics.
Bryce James is the one NBA teams won. They didn't want Bronny. They won Bryce James.
All right, so that next one there, as you can see, that is Sam Houston State against Jacksonville State. So,
bro, why are you asking us this game?
Because I'm telling you, this was a tough weekend to find stuff. This was a very tough weekend. Sam Houston's 8-2. Jacksonville State's 7-3. Jacksonville State is favored by 6.
Okay.
So at the moment, Jacksonville State's 6-0 in the conference, and then Sam Houston's 5-1 in the conference. Jacksonville State averages 38, or really 39 points per game. Sam Houston, they're averaging 24 points per game. I'm going Jacksonville State.
Oh, yeah. Jacksonville.
Why not? I'll go opposite. Sam Houston. I'm just taking the road teams.
Wow. Okay. That's fair. All right. The next one we got is Indiana against Ohio State. It's in the shoe.
Buckeyes.
I want to say Indiana, but I'm going to say, Buckeyes.
Yeah, I'm going Buckeyes as well.
Because I really do think they are going to win that game, and that's just going to, make Indiana go down in the college football bracket, and then if the other teams lose, that's...
Walker Howard confuses me, man. I feel like Walker Howard, he could do something in the NFL. He just probably needs another year of seasoning, unless he goes ballistic these last 4 games or whatever.
So the next one here is Montana versus Montana State. This is also known as the
good old Montana's.
The Brawl of the Wild is what this is called.
No, I'll take Montana. Whichever one's the one on the right.
That's Montana State. The Bobcats.
Yeah, that was the one that beat New Mexico, right?
Yes, that is. They have not let us down yet.
Give me them. I knew which one it was.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm sticking with the Bobcats, man.
They never let me down. They won't do it now.
Bobcats.
And the Bobcats are actually undefeated.
Yeah, Bobcats.
Okay.
So that's how I'm going. I like that. That's a cool name, though. The Brawl of the Wild.
Yeah, that's actually cool. I ain't gonna. That's a nice one.
That is. I like that. All right.
State.
Same here. That's what I'm sticking with.
What is that? Arizona State and BYU?
Yep, it's in Arizona State. This would essentially right here. I think this is where BYU gets off the train. They're off the playoff train right here.
You think they lose to Arizona State?
Yeah, at Arizona State. Didn't play well against Kansas.
Arizona State's good.
Yeah.
I always thought opposite of Arizona State. I thought Arizona was good, and I thought Arizona State was like a.
Arizona's got the better wide receiver, but Arizona State's a better team.
Here's the funny thing: Arizona State's head coach Kenny Dillingham worked at Florida State. He got the Sun Devils at 7-2.
Oh shit!
Well, Florida State could have used him as head coach, anyways.
You see the irony in all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite some irony there.
We didn't really talk about it, but I guess shout out Billy Napier for his win. I didn't think they had it in him.
I didn't think they had it in him.
I was wrong. I would admit it. I'll be a good human, and I'll say I was wrong. Billy Napier, you got another year.
A lot of pissed off boosters that he's coming back, but
hey, they get to save their money. I don't think they should be too mad.
Yeah, exactly. Good Christmas shopping.
Another year means a lower buyout.
Yeah. All right, now this next one. This is
Oh, sorry. I picked BYU, by the way.
Oh, my bad. I thought you picked. I am so sorry. All right. So this next one's interesting. You have a 5-5 FAMU team against a 2-9 Bethune-Cookman team. Bethune is the home team.
Y'all gonna get mad at me?
I won't be mad.
Bethune.
Trust me, I will not be mad. Do what you got to do.
Bethune.
Hey, look, the way they've been playing. I mean, look, a lot of people.
The way FAMU's been playing, man, I don't trust it. And you lost a one loss. You want to win with Mississippi Valley? Yeah, I got no faith.
That's fair, Mr. Sassor. Where are you at?
I agree with what you say, Ace. So I'm gonna say Bethune.
Yeah, FAMU's winning now.
Yeah, right. That reverse psychology.
Yeah.
We think about it. We're like, oh yeah, Bethune, and then FAMU's gonna win. Montana's gonna win instead of Montana State.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
We are definitely 100% on the Montana State train. Thanks.
Is Indiana gonna win against Ohio State? Probably not. They don't stand a chance. They really don't. I'm sorry. As much as I'd like to see Indiana win.
Really, the thing is like after the first 3 games, like the 4th all the way to the 10th game or really the 4th all the way to the 9th game are pretty interesting. Next is Army and Notre Dame.
Army.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting that.
Did you guys see them on their social media? They dropped like their uniform for their game.
Yeah, they're gonna wear that against Navy next week.
I like it. It looks good.
Or not? Wait, it's not next week, is it? Or is it? I think it's next week. Yeah.
Rivalry week is always Thanksgiving week.
I'm just surprised.
It's not next week. It's the week after.
Yeah, the week after Thanksgiving.
I'm just surprised they didn't do some cliche like camo jersey.
They probably will.
Because our Army, like.
Yeah. All right. This next one is Vandy against LSU. Vanderbilt.
LSU.
Well, LSU.
Actually, you know what?
LSU's breaking out their gold uniforms for the first time since 1998.
I want to say LSU, but I kind of want Brian Kelly to get fired. But I think he might get fired anyway. But still LSU. He should get fired anyway, I should say.
No, I agree. I think he's gonna get fired.
Actually, now that I say it, I think about I'm forgetting the guy's name. The one who coaches Notre Dame. It's like starts with an M.
Oh, you're oh crap.
Gosh, has an M in his name. It says Mar something. I don't know if it's a Marshall or a Marcus.
Oh, Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman. Yes, I knew there was something like that. I knew it started with an M. Give me some decency. I don't know. Marcus Freeman doesn't really lose big games. He loses the mini games. So I'll still stay with Army, but also LSU.
Fair. Yeah, no, I'm sticking LSU here too.
Give me the Commodores. Give me the Commodores.
Ooh.
I'm sticking to my Tennessee teams, except for the Titans, because the Titans suck.
It's wild that like of anybody that's picked the Tennessee games right.
I know, right?
It's you. You picked most of these Tennessee games right.
I had almost like a perfect score prediction.
He always picks Tennessee teams though.
And
I still pick the Florida teams.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah, battle of the dog crap right here in this next one.
Yeah,
UCLA.
Oh,
USC. I like the Trojans.
Yeah, I'm going USC as well here too. I feel like UCLA is probably worse off than USC. Actually, let me see who's favored in this game.
Because they still have Miller Moss, right? Or no?
He's transferring out.
Oh, damn.
Let's see. Where are we at with this game? As of right now, USC is favored by 4.5. Wow. USC's 5-5. UCLA's 4. You said you're going UCLA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair. All right.
USC is bad.
And with that,
Lincoln Riley's bolting to the NFL. And I think the Bears are going to be dumb enough to hire him as the head coach.
Yeah, that Caleb Williams connection. Yeah.
You're probably right.
That's a perfect transition point to the NFL. Take us on over.
That is. All right. So, ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Chiefs go down.
No, we're still living in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, the Steelers are still in control in that AFC North.
Bro, I'm gonna. We'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah, back to the Kansas City one. That was so overdue. I'm happy that Buffalo won for it on that 4th and 2, and Josh Allen took it to the house. That was needed for the NFL.
My thing is, did you see the face mask?
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't even call it. It was annoying.
That was crazy.
I swear, I feel like that's the one penalty they hardly call in NFL's face mask.
They should be calling it more. They selectively call it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And when the Chiefs play, they damn sure don't call it.
No.
When the Chiefs play, they don't call much of anything.
Yes, exactly. And it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. I'm like, how do you not call that? And then the thing is, usually they say home cooking, but like the game was in Buffalo and it happened and they didn't even call it.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here like, dude, like, what's going on here? Like, are these like I'm really like of the impression that NFL officials are betting on games.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. I do think NFL officials and
they're using a burner account, but yeah, I think it might possibly be.
Yeah. And there needs to be some type of investigation conducted. Because you can't tell me that, quite honestly, I felt like Atlanta had a shot to beat Kansas City. Tampa had a shot to beat Kansas City.
Tampa especially. In overtime.
Yeah. The Ravens had a shot to beat Kansas City. And then it's like, thankfully Buffalo got it done. But I mean, honestly, you still need Kansas City to lose a couple more as far as that number 1 seed goes. Because I mean, all this is nice and stuff. I mean, I'm happy, but man, you need you need to see Kansas City drop a couple more for them to lose that #1 seed. Because right now, that title or that road to New Orleans is still going through Kansas City in the AFC.
Yeah.
No, it would be hilarious if Carolina won. But I thought that would have happened if Kansas City had beat Buffalo. I thought they would have lost to Carolina just for the memes. But now that they lost, I think they're gonna blow out Carolina, which sucks.
50 pointer coming.
Where did I put the hat? I thought the hat was right.
Or I saw this on social media the other day. Obviously, someone made a little thing out of it, but it was this. It said the script has been leaked. And it shows that.
Oh, dude, that would be.
I don't think the Lions would have as much. I do not think the Lions would have as much success as people think if they played the Chiefs.
No.
Oh yeah, game planning
Chiefs team
maybe if they
is mostly better. This Chiefs team is actually pretty decent against the run. They're like one of the better run defenses. And if you can take away the run against the Lions early, like if you can stop their run early, that team will unravel very fast.
Yeah.
Because they need the run game to succeed early so they can get the play action to just open up everything, and then that's when they get dangerous. But they said if the Lions make it deep, like conference championship or Super Bowl, they can get Aiden Hutchinson back, which could be nasty.
Wait, they could get him back. Well, I guess it makes sense.
If
Bucks, they make it far enough, they can get Chris Godwin back. So, sheesh. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I just hope they don't rush him back too soon. I say the same thing about Godwin. I just hope these guys aren't getting rushed back. So we'll see. The other thing too is
Mahomes been so bad though.
The Falcons' lead on the NFC South is down to 2 games.
Yeah, I still think they're gonna win it. Unless their schedule is horrible the next couple of games. It is brutal.
Yeah, they got the Commanders, they got the Chargers.
I think the Bucks win in that division, maybe, possibly.
Who else? I'm missing one other team.
I would guess win for the next week, and then the following week a loss.
Wait, Ace, who do they got? The Commanders, the Chargers, and who else?
They have to play the Chiefs. No, they already played the Chiefs. Broncos. No, they already lost to the Broncos. Yeah. They just lost to the Broncos. My apologies. Are they on bye week this week? Yeah, they're on bye week this week.
Mm-hmm.
They bounce back. They got Chargers this week. Next week coming up, I should say. Then they got Minnesota, Vegas. They're going to beat Vegas. They're going to beat New York. They're going to beat Carolina. So they got 3 wins coming up. That takes them to, I believe, 9 and something. They're what, 4, 6
yeah,
and
because
right
they said, I believe someone said the Bucks would need to only drop 1 game and win 6 out of the next 7, which it is doable. Dallas is a wreck.
Falcons got 6 games left, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I could see them going 3-3.
Yeah,
I think that Kirk Cousins revenge game is going to be funny.
If he can even get revenge.
Yeah.
Well, if he's healthy, I don't know. They've been whispers of Penix, but I don't think they'll bench him. I think he would have to be actually hurt for Penix to play.
They put Penix in with 2 minutes left last week.
He didn't do much. It was 2 of 4 and 24 yards. He didn't really do much.
Yeah, I was thinking too. Honestly, I was looking at it like, we gonna put Penix in now? Really?
Yeah.
You gonna really put him in now?
Chargers defense is good, but they should have lost to the Bengals. Let's be real. If McPherson sold that game, he sold the Ravens game. I don't know what's wrong with McPherson. They're saying it's because they got a new snapper and holder. The timing's a bit off on the kicks. I don't know if that's playing a factor into it, but you can't be missing 2 fourth-quarter kicks. You missed an overtime kick against the Ravens, and it cost you. He's been costing them games. I don't know if he's going to survive all that, but he did get paid, so he probably will.
The snap was good on the last one he kicked. The snap was good. The hold was good.
Both kicks went to the left.
Yeah, the way he kind of leaned into it, and he the way it left off his foot, you could tell he kind of just he shot it too far left. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was on the hold, like the snap in the hold.
It depend. The Commanders game will be interesting because it will depend on which Jaden Daniels we get. If he's healthy back from the rib injury, because they say he's healthy from that rib injury, but you can tell he's not. He's not playing the same as he was before. He's not moving the same or running the same. So I don't know if that rib injury is hindering him any, but they're definitely beating the Raiders, definitely beating the Giants, definitely beating the Panthers. It's the Commanders game I think they could win. And you never know, they could win the Kirk Cousins revenge game. That would be good enough. Or worst case, to end up the season at 9-7.
Yeah.
Not 9-7. 10. How many wins they got? 6 wins?
Yeah,
No, they're 6-5. So 9-8. Meanwhile, the Bucs schedule is like a cupcake, right? The rest of the year.
Yeah. And they're getting Mike Evans back. I think they said he needs I think 665 something yards to get to another 1,000-yard season.
Well, he's got 7 games left.
Yeah, he's got a chance to
He's got Giants, Panthers, Raiders. Those 3 games, he's going to get at least 300 yards total. Chargers game might be a bit of a struggle, but he could get at least 80 yards on that. He's going to get 100 yards on the Cowboys, no question about that. Then you got another game against the Panthers, can get another 100. Saints, probably another 100 maybe.
I almost want to talk about the Cowboys, but I don't want to save too much air into that. So, man, because I finally watched a full game of NFL the other night, that Texans-Dallas game, and I was like, this game is dog water, but Houston somehow looked better.
Oh, 100%. The quality
of Stroud, because Stroud's stats will say he didn't play that great, but man, Mixon was just taking all those goal line touchdowns from him, so he couldn't get no passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then Nico Collins had the first play. Nico Collins had a touchdown. They called it back for a tic-tac holding.
Yeah, which was dumb.
If you started mixing in fantasy, you had yourself a good night.
Yeah.
That's why that Reggie dude, man. Reggie's getting carried by Joe Mixon right now.
I couldn't do anything about it. I knew I had lost after the 1:00 games on Sunday. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'll just try again next week.
I knew I was gonna win once Saquon gave me like whatever it was on Thursday night. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm winning that. I'm gonna sit back, relax. I ain't gotta stress about it.
So maybe I'll snap out of it this week, and we'll see. Also, to the other thing, Giants, they benched Daniel Jones for Tommy DeVito.
This is wrong. What they're doing right now, the New York Giants should be ashamed of themselves. This is wrong. Daniel Jones might not be good. He might be bad. He is bad, but he ain't doo-doo. I came back to it. I told you I was going to come back to it. Daniel Jones is not bad, but he isn't doo-doo. Doo-doo players that are 4th-string quarterbacks on their team. He is not that guy. He should not. Let me say this way. Daniel Jones is a top 40 quarterback in the NFL. But do I think he's top 32? Well, no, I should say, do I think Daniel Jones is a top 30 quarterback? Because he is better than Gardner Minshew and Mac Jones right now.
I was just about to ask you that.
So I do think he's not a great quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. Oh, I should say he's not. He is a good quarterback when he has a good offensive line. He does not have a good offensive line right now. So right now he's like a deer in headlights. But to bench a man and put him at the 4th-string quarterback, and this is the man you chose over Saquon Barkley. Get rid of the whole house. Whole house got to go. You were on video as a GM. The GM was on video, 4K, saying, we are paying Daniel Jones $42 million. We're not paying a running back $13 million to hand the ball off to. And you are benching him right now. And what week it is? Week 12 or 13 now? We're at right now?
Week
12, I
think. 12 or 13.
This is week 12.
Yeah, week 12, you're benching him to the 4th-string spot. And you're not even playing Drew Lock, who we know is better than Tommy DeVito.
He had something to say about Tommy too. I saw the interview.
They're playing Tommy DeVito because they know the Italian mafia fans that they have would be happy with them. That is literally the only reason why.
That's the only reason why.
Let me find it. Here's that. Let's see.
It's the only reason why.
Was it Zach Wilson's interview?
No, Drew Lock.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Drew Lock's interview. Yeah, there we go.
And we're not even talking about the next team in New Jersey yet. Both New Jersey teams are dog water. We're not even talking about the other team in New Jersey.
Oh, yes.
They don't deserve to call New York right now. They're too dog water.
Oh, here it is. We found it. Hold on.
I have this beautiful graphic to talk about on that next piece after we finish all these New Jersey talks.
Hold on. Dang it. Why does it keep doing that? All right. Now, we will share the screen. Okay. Here we go.
When they tell you, it's based on what they saw last year, the juice that it gave the team, how do you not wonder, well, why was I the number 2 the whole time then? Why wasn't he the number 2 then if that's what you saw?
Again, that's a question I might still have for myself. It was expressed to me that I was going to be the 2, and it's just an interesting situation. Not much I can really say about it besides, again, I'm gonna be here for him, and we're still communicating, still very good friends, believe it or not. I'm gonna be here for him. This team needs to get a win, and we start winning, everything gets a little better around here.
When they tell you,
Interesting. He sounds a little devastated. He sounds hurt.
He sounds hurt. Man, Drew Lock had that crazy game against the Eagles last year. Remember when he came with the Seahawks and Geno got hurt? And he came in, or he played that game, and then he had that fourth quarter comeback drive. That was crazy. Now, but anyway, Tommy DeVito, man, I don't understand why he's starting. He's not good.
No. Look, he'll get a shot this weekend against the Todd Bowles defense.
Well, now Todd Bowles' defense sucks. So.
Yeah, so, hey, you're basically, this is 2 rubber chickens fighting each other.
I was about to say, so it's basically going to be a wishy-washy game.
Yes, like I said.
Malik Neighbors will bust one big for me, so I'm good.
Literally special team. It's going to be a win by special teams. We're going to see the most. We're going to see the most odd score that we've ever seen in NFL. 9 to 12. I'm going to give a prediction. It's going to be 9-12.
Oh no, it won't be that bad. Giants defense is terrible too.
9 points for Giants.
Here we go. I'm going to give you exactly what it's going to be. Is this actually going to be a video? Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go.
Did you guys? I don't know if this is another revelation that's unraveled, but did you hear about Trey Lance too?
No,
this is going to be Tommy DeVito. Right now, over the place. He's in the car.
I think this should be like a.
How long is this video? What the heck? Okay, we don't have time for 2 minutes.
Should just edit that to be a minute, and that should be like your like weekly, like every time we do a stream. That should be like we look at like what 2 teams are going to be like the absolute dog water teams that are going to face each other, and just be like that's the chicken on chicken fight right there.
Technically, that's that right there. That's USC and UCLA.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, good God.
But no, I kept on the Houston Dallas game. They kept showing Trey Lance on the screen. I don't know. I don't know. If
He needs to start. Then he needs reps to get better. He needs to start. Cooper Rush is not going to do much of anything anyway.
No.
Mm-mm.
So it's like I don't know if that was like a speculation saying that like he's going to start next week because
For the sake of his career, he should start.
Yeah, because I look at Cooper Rush and I think Cooper Rush is like literally the number 2. He's not the number 2, but I think Trey Lance should have been number 2 right after Dak, not Cooper.
Trey Lance can make explosive plays, but he also makes some dumb boneheaded decisions, and he turns it over. That's probably the only reason.
And when those
then again, Cooper Rush should have had like 6 picks Monday night. Just Houston showed why defensive players are on the defensive side of the ball and not wide receivers, because they kept dropping those picks.
Yes,
Stingley should have had 4 picks that game.
Yeah.
But anyways, since we're done with that, talk about the New Jersey team. Yeah, so they fired GM Joe Douglas. We already know that. Same dude had the 2022 class with Sauce, Barrett Tucker, Brees Hall. He's had great draft picks, right? He's missed on agreed the COVID year Zach Wilson pick. Well, then again, that might be a different issue for why Zach Wilson didn't work out. That I will get to in a minute. He's got like Keenan Williams. He brought in CJ Mosley. He developed DJ Reed more. He's got he made a good team, whatnot, and then he got overruled on the Devontae Adams trade, and then he became basically just a figurehead and got fired. Right? Cool. So now win percentages for the Jets. Zach Wilson has the highest one, actually, believe it or not, and Sam Darnold. Both have higher win percentages than Aaron Rodgers. Do with
not surprising at all.
You will. And I will say this. I'm gonna say this right now. So, given the current situation the Saints are in, is Derek Carr is 100% going to be gone next year. And the way they're going right now, they're not going to have a top 5 pick to take a quarterback. So if I were them, I would give it serious consideration on giving Zach Wilson a 1-year deal to battle Spencer Rattler for the starting job. If you can't pry Justin Fields out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about Justin Fields?
Yeah.
See if his services are
available. Justin Fields, now that takes me over to this one.
Jordan, you should have added a ticker down below saying, when should Aaron Rodgers retire?
Yeah, honestly, he should have retired last year.
Last year or this year?
Last year. He should have retired after the Achilles injury.
Yeah.
What do y'all notice? There's 3 things to take away from this chart.
I'm noticing Kirk Cousins is all the way at the bottom. Russell Wilson is at the create rate. He's all the way on the far left. Tua's not as creative, I am assuming.
Dallas is dog water.
No, Tua is he's not creating plays, but he's getting past his first read.
Okay,
so key 3 things here to notice. Y'all see my cursor, right? My mouse.
Where? I don't see your
cursor.
Y'all don't see the okay. Can't see my cursor then. Okay, here we go. Y'all see it here?
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah,
I see it now.
Oh, y'all see this? Look who's right here. That's funny.
Why is he there? Why? No.
He's actually been good.
Yeah, no, he has. He's won a couple of games that you wouldn't have expected him to.
He's been putting up good numbers. It's just the team exactly isn't good. But he himself has been playing good for what he's been playing with. Jaden Daniels, surprising. Mahomes, not surprising. Mahomes always makes crazy plays out of nothing. So basically, if you're over here, you get past your first read and you make a lot of big plays. Here, Tua, he doesn't get out of the pocket much. But he does get out of the pocket. He makes past his first read. And then
now, is that also taking into consideration he just came back, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, he's only played 3 games.
Right.
Then you got this guy all the way right here. League average negative 0.6 EPA per play, which is I believe pass attempts beyond the first. Wait, no, I think that's plays outside the pocket and pass attempts before first play. I'm not entirely sure how you read this. Give me a second. This chart is kind of big. I assume it's estimated pass attempts per play or progressions per.
Yeah, estimated.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's an estimate.
Let me see. Give me a second. Well, I do that.
Estimated play average or estimated percentage?
Yeah, estimated play average, I believe.
Play average, yeah.
Let me just check. But anyways, so we have Cam Williams, not bad. Anthony Richardson, while we're talking about it, Anthony Richardson is, I believe, won all 4 of Indianapolis's 5 games right now. And he played pretty good, I will say. He played much better this previous week. So the question of why Joe Flacco kept playing is very questionable, especially when you know Anthony Richardson has the potential. It's just he needs the snaps to play better. Whoa, what happened here? It's crazy. I think it's weird. Jalen Hurts been much better.
Yeah.
I agree with that bubble, but I don't know about Tua and Russell though. I would put them in the same spot, whether if it's on the negative or the positive.
Interesting. Bryce Young is where he's at.
And Bryce Young too. I don't, for him to be in that bubble, I think he needs to be more with like Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, Justin Herbert.
Patrick Mahomes and Jaden Daniels that's about accurate.
I think Sam Darnold should be where like Brock Purdy and Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels is at.
All right, so I think what it is, right? So these are the guys who can get out of the pocket and make a play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While these are the guys who sit in the pocket and don't do anything besides just throw the ball deep.
Right. Okay.
If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like
these are the dudes who can get out of the pocket, but they don't really they make more plays than they do get out of the pocket a whole lot. Well, Richardson, he can get out of the pocket, but he doesn't really make much of anything. He's more boom or bust. That's why he's so low. Derek Carr, we know Derek Carr can't get out of the pocket. He doesn't really create much. No surprise there. Daniel Jones doesn't do much of anything. Will Levis doesn't do. Justin Herbert, his reasoning is because, remember, the Chargers didn't throw it much earlier on in the year.
Yeah.
So now recently he's been moving more up, but Jordan Love, every game he's had an interception, but he does throw it off big, but he's boom or bust too. Sam Darnold's mostly carried by Justin Jefferson and the weapons around him. And then Jalen Hurts all the way up here, he just makes crazy crap happen all the time. Well, he gets the big plays a lot.
Yeah. That he does.
And Bryce Young's always running for his life. That's probably why he's over here, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's funny Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield are like almost identical. They do so much to help their team win, but in the end they just can't overcome certain things.
Yeah. Also, I think Baker missing. Yeah.
It's always on a bus play.
Mm-hmm. Baker does a lot for what he's given.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's at the average line almost. Mm-hmm. But also, I think this graph was taken for this week from it's taken from the active quarterbacks right now who are starting. That's why Cooper Rush is here, not Dak.
Mm-hmm.
And why Russell Wilson's here, not Fields. Because I wanted to know where Fields would rank on this to compare to Russ.
Well, I mean, go back to
Russ is just
week 3.
Well, I don't know if there is a chart for it from whoever created this patent analytics.
I feel like if it was Fields, I feel like he would be right.
I feel like Fields would be right here,
right in the middle with Caleb, Anthony, and Baker and Burrow.
Yeah, I feel like Fields would be right. Give it this area right here.
Dead set on center.
Yeah,
because it's he knows how to get out of the pocket when he has to, and he still is a playmaker.
No, but the only reason why I really brought this up was to showcase Drake May's been better than what we thought. Well, I think I had Drake May as my best quarterback in this class anyway. But Drake May being good, not surprising to me. Well, Jaden Daniels was right with him. But anyways, I want to do that one, and also, Kyler's been like a clinician, but he's not making a lot of big plays. Hey man, that Call of Duty, since Call of Duty came out, they haven't lost a game.
Hey.
Huh?
It's now double XP weekend is the one we got to worry about. I don't know when it's coming, but since COD 6 came out, Kyler's been cooking. Now, but Kyler is right here because remember, Arizona's offense is not a bunch of big plays, really.
Yeah.
Kyler's been being kind of a technician, working their way down the field, running the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So it's more well-rounded. That's also why Baker is right here. Baker's not making big plays. Baker is working his way down the field, and they're using Bucky Irvin and Rashad White a lot too recently. Jameis makes big plays, but he's not like very sustained, if that makes any sense. Same with Gino. They don't sustain drives. Jared Goff runs the ball so much, that's why Jared Goff is so down far. And also they don't really, get out of the pocket at all. Because you got to remember, this is creating plays outside of the structured system. So these are all system quarterbacks right here. And then Russell Wilson, very system, but he can throw it. I believe that's what it is. So he doesn't get out of the pocket, but he can still throw it. So once the team brings back that old 2000s playbook, Steelers are screwed.
And Tua is basically just like as flat as a pancake.
I mean,
if you think about it, I mean, come on. One more injury for Tua, and he's gonna look like Flat Stanley.
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
All right. With that being said, bring out the picks, the game for the picks
Yes.
or whatever.
I was gonna say you read my mind. All right.
Jesus. What did Flat Stanley do to you, bro? How Flat Stanley catch a string?
No, for real.
Flat Stanley don't do anything.
On that note,
I find it funny because
we have Thursday night football. We have the Steelers at the Browns.
Don, you go first.
I'm going Steelers.
I'm going. Ooh, I just kind of know the history between those two, so I'm gonna go Browns.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Browns.
Okay.
All right, guys. If you told me James Winston completed over 60% of his passes, had over 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions or fumbles,
I would give you a shot. I would give you a shot when I come to visit you. I'd buy you a drink.
What would you think the score would be?
You said if he had how much again?
All right, let me read it the exact way, right? If I told you Jameis Winston completed over 60% of his passes, had over 350 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, what do you think the score would have been?
That sounds like a win to me.
Yeah, they lost by 21.
And that was to the Saints.
Yeah,
see.
Nick Chubb had 4.5 yards a carry, right? Jerry Jeudy 142 yards, like 80 of them came on one play though. Then Njoku 81, Elijah Moore 66, whatever, right? Yeah, the reason why the Browns lost that game was because Taysom Hill went into God mode.
Yeah.
The Browns, it's the same thing with the Chargers game too. The Browns were good, and then you remember, like, it's kind of Jameis kind of had a Bucks moment there where once he gets out one interception, kind of spirals and waterfalls out.
Yeah, you have to take the ball out of his hands.
Yep.
Yeah, because once they get down, he's gonna try to do too much almost. But then the receiver will run a wrong route, or he will try to throw it in anticipation, and the receiver's not where he wants it to be, and then it gets picked, and it just cascades. Yeah, with the Steelers game, I think if they can effectively run the ball, which we saw Baltimore was having some success until they didn't. They just forgot to give the ball to Derrick Henry, which was stupid. I don't think the Browns will run into that issue because they're going to try to protect James from it. And the Steelers wide receivers were not good against the Ravens. the DBs. The linebackers stepped up a lot. Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. So if Tillman and Judy win outside, I think the Browns got a shot.
So you going with the Browns here tomorrow night?
Now I'm taking the
I
Steelers.
knew you. I knew it.
I'm taking the
I knew
Steelers for one reason. Dalton knows.
Oh, that reverse psychology right there.
Yeah, he got me. He threw me a curveball.
I still think it's still going to be the Steelers, whatever they're calling it, devil magic. I don't know.
Yeah, Steelers are going to win off of devil magic. It's going to be close. Brown should have won, and then Russell Wilson was terrible in that game. Russell Wilson had 80 passing yards, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Or 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
All right, let's see what we got next. We got Bucks and Giants.
Bucks.
Yeah, they should
But
win.
Malik Neighbors over 100 receiving yards. Because Tommy DeVito is a first-read quarterback, and the Bucks don't have a cornerback who could stop Neighbors.
That's true. They are getting Jamel Dean back, but Jimmy Dean's sausage may not be much use. Honestly, and then Zion McCollum's the better of the two, if you ask me. Next one we got here is we've got Cowboys and Commanders. I'm going Commanders.
Commies. I'm not say that too often.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful.
I'm going to say the Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. Commanders.
Wise man.
Yeah.
Absolutely wise man.
I couldn't make more jokes.
The Commanders should have beat the Eagles, but Dan Quinn became the Atlanta Falcons head coach again and decided to go for it with 4th and 2 when he could have took the lead with the field goal. So, and that play was a stupid play design.
Oh, stupid.
This is true.
It's like like how the Cowboys made some stupid fourth like special teams calls.
I mean, hell, their ceiling's falling apart. They're just a mess.
They're such a mess.
Hey, the Saints have scored more touchdowns in AT&T Stadium than the Cowboys have all year.
Just atrocious.
Oh my god.
I think we all know where this one's going. The homegoing service for the Carolina Panthers against a pissed off Kansas City Chiefs team at home.
Devil magic for the win.
Yep. 100%. Well, I know Dalton's probably going with Kansas City as well. Let's see. We got Patriots and Dolphins down in South Florida.
Patriots.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm with you there, Patriots.
Okay.
All right,
Patriots were stupid and didn't let Christian Gonzalez shadow Cooper Kupp or Nakua, but I think they're going to let him shadow Tyreek.
Okay. Next one we got is
Big game for Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Texans at Titans.
That's a no-brainer for me too. Texans.
I thought he was gonna go with the Tennessee team.
No.
He said everybody but the Titans.
Any Tennessee team but the Titans, because the Titans suck. Dog water.
They do.
Even in hockey, surprisingly, the Nashville Predators are in last place.
Yeah, you also stole Sam Coase and you became trash. Just wait till you try to steal the Rays and become trash too.
Yeah. Well, he didn't become trash. but I think
he's been bad this year. All his goals have been on power play goals exclusively.
He is a power play goal person.
Yeah, but he's not been doing anything on 5-on-5.
No, he's not.
But we'll talk about it in Hot Topics. There's a lot of stuff we got to talk about in Hot Topics, especially with the Rays.
Let's see. You got Lions and Colts. I think we all know where we're going here.
Lions.
I agree.
Yeah, Lions.
Same. We got Vikings and we got Bears.
Vikings.
The next one is, we all know the Raiders are basically tanking for Shador at this point. We got Broncos and we got Raiders.
Oh, Percocet boy.
Broncos.
You say Percocet boy?
Yeah.
Who's Percocet boy?
Sean Payton.
You know, wait, hold up. It's something I don't know. Man's popping Percocets?
Yeah. They had a whole article on him being on Percocets.
You know what? I don't even know. All right. 49ers and Packers in Lambeau.
Packers.
49ers, I don't know.
49ers. Well, you know what? Well, the 49ers
like
always own the Packers, but I'm going to say the Packers.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like the 49ers.
Yeah. I think by the end of it, I think they might come into the wild card. They might barely come into the wild card. The 49ers.
Packers got to win to keep up with the Vikings and Lions, so yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And Eagles.
Seahawks and Cardinals.
Cards.
They lead that division right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cardinals as well. I feel like it's going to be a very even matchup. Okay.
Let's see here. And we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Eagles and the Rams in Los Angeles.
Eagles.
Yep.
Oh, Ravens.
Disgusting, though.
That's
Monday night, right?
Yeah, we got a Monday night early Thanksgiving get together between the Harbaugh family.
That game should have been Thanksgiving. That game should have been on Thanksgiving. That would have been better than the Cowboys Giants.
I agree.
That's going to be the ultimate chicken fight. the Giants and
Tommy DeVito and Cooper Rush.
I guess I better bring it back next week. Rubber chicken battle. Oh boy. So are we going with Harbaugh or are we going with Harbaugh?
Harbaugh. John.
The purple Harbaugh. Who you say? You said Jim?
John.
The wiser one. I'm going with the wiser, older one.
I'm going to take the one on the East Coast, not the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm saying. I was going to say, I would say the older one, I'm pretty sure is Jim.
Yeah, it's Jim.
I don't know who's who, but I'll just take the one on the East Coast.
Jim is older than John. John is like the one that's got like little to no facial hair. He looks like a baby face version of Jim. Quite literally.
Right. I'm
Look at them. Look at two pictures of them side by side. You'll see Jim. He's got like all the scruffle and everything, and then John's just like this like baby face version.
Go with the one that doesn't have the heart problem.
Ooh,
that's wrong.
Let me stop.
You better stop.
Yep.
Is that Jim? Does he have a heart problem?
Time out.
What?
Let's pray. Yeah, he got a heart murmur.
Oh.
Ask for forgiveness.
Yep. Let's take a moment. Let me stop.
Sure.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, we made it through onto the hot topics.
Quick part here. Rays, Stu better sell that team. They said if he doesn't sell the team, they're not going to Tampa permanently. The stadium looks dead. People are already saying they're going to go to Nashville or Utah or Montreal, which sucks.
Oh,
I know.
Don't go to any one of those places. Well, yet again, I keep hearing talks about Nashville trying to get an MLB team.
They should expand rather than move
expand.
Move them to Ybor Riverview.
That was talked about back like when I first got to college too. I remember people were saying like the Nashville Rays and stuff. But
that just doesn't make any sense. There's no Rays in Nashville anyway. That's stupid. They'll have to rename it anyway.
Yeah,
but anyway, the Rays, Tampa has a market for baseball. It's just nobody wants it in St. Pete. And St. Pete is so pathetic. St. Pete shouldn't have a team.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone is saying it.
I don't like it. I don't care. I'll say it. They've always traded every player's name I bother to remember, they always end up trading them anyway.
This is why you buy a Rays jersey and you put your own name on the back of it.
Exactly.
Or you get like the 90s or early 2000s retro Devil Rays, not Rays. I would get like one of those ones, like a calling card to like to
If I
like
get something like that,
Evan Longoria or like an old
Hell,
old
they
Rays
traded
players,
even
man.
Longoria.
honestly, I'm not even getting those. I'm getting Fred McGriff or I'm getting Wade Boggs. You can't go wrong with that. If it ain't them two, I'm going with my name.
Or Belfour. I think that was his name. He was a pitcher for the Rays in like the early 2000s.
I need to put my last name on my Lightning jersey too, actually.
Thank God I went with Hedman on my jersey.
I got Point.
I went with Hedman, and I was so close because my parents were like, "Do you want Hedman or Stamkos?" And I'm like,
Flash got Stamkos. I got Point. I made a good decision.
I want to go with Hedman, and I'm glad I went with Hedman. Can we also talk about that? They beat the freaking Jets.
I know. I remember that was mentioned last week. I remember.
Yeah, they beat the 15-1 Jets. That was crazy. I will say though,
42 or something.
It's hilarious, but the Lightning won the Sergachev trade twice, if that makes any sense, right? So back in 2017, they traded Jonathan Drouin for Sergachev. That was one of the best trades they've ever made. And then they traded Sergachev to Utah, and that was one of the best trades they ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Who they traded?
Because Moser actually is pretty damn good, and Connor Kiki is going to be really good in a couple of years. And he's pretty good right now. He beat Crosby on an offensive zone faceoff last night, kept it away from him, started the breakout with Point. Point gave it back to him, and he pushed everybody back, and then it just set up the goal for Points win the game.
In OT, yeah, I saw that. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, so that Sergachev trade, I don't know how it's possible to win a trade twice, but they won a trade twice.
Yeah.
I need to go my hockey-ish. Like pronto. Also, my thing for Hot Topics that I've got is because he was mentioned for the job at Florida Atlantic earlier today, and they're saying this is the but it's not. They said it's not true because I've seen this a couple times.
Oh, I don't know. People said I don't know if they're joking or not.
Now I know Dion said he's not going to the NFL, which is a wise choice. But do you believe Ray Lewis would work at Florida Atlantic?
He can motivate the kids. It's just
that's what I said.
And he passed the background check.
Look, Ray Lewis can motivate me to watch paint dry. That's what I want. That's one thing I know for sure he can do. Florida Atlantic will be the most motivated team in college football.
He would be a Dan Campbell type of coach. He wouldn't be like an X's and O's type of guy, but he would be a leader and men kind of coach.
Oh yeah, he's the type of guy that would probably have Florida Atlantic starting football practice or fall camp in full pads, and everybody would look at him like he's crazy, but it would probably pay off.
Yep, and also I would say if he would become the head coach, his success would be determined by who his coordinators are, and also recruiting.
I guarantee you, and a lot of people may not like this, if he gets that job,
Ed Reed going there.
Who?
Ed Reed going there.
Hey, you read my mind. I was like, that's gonna be your defensive. It's gonna be like a combined effort of defensive coordinators between him and Ed Reed. Ed Reed will be back in South Florida in Boca with Ray Lewis if this were to happen. And if they have success, hey,
they call Anquan Bolden to be your OC.
It could happen.
I don't know. I don't even know what Anquan Bolden be doing these days. He disappeared.
During his retirement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or I just want to throw a random speculation out there. What if Ray Lewis went to a team like the Bucks, Raiders?
Now he wouldn't go to the NFL.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Off the bat, he wouldn't fit with those owners.
Yeah, I could see him. I could see him going back to Baltimore in some capacity because him and Baltimore are inseparable.
Yeah, Baltimore maybe he wouldn't go to any other team.
But Florida Atlantic would make sense. Again, it's a team that is finishing last in the American. They need to pick me up. Something's got to give there. So It wouldn't be pretty year one, but I mean, year two, we'll see. But again, people need to stop comparing Ray Lewis to Dion, saying that this is the Dion effect. No, Dion had been coaching high school ball. Dion had been coaching 2.5 years in the SWAC. Dion's now in year 2 at Colorado. Dion has more experience than Ray Lewis. Let's not do that. Ray Lewis's only coaching experience at some high level is coaching the Pro Bowl. So we gotta pump the brakes when we say that. And for the love of God, when you say it, don't even think about bringing up the fact of, oh, but Ray Lewis did this off the field a long time ago. Yeah, you know what? Bobby Petrino did some effed up stuff too. So did Art Briles.
A lot of guys did some effed up stuff.
Exactly. Art Briles did some really effed up stuff. He allowed a lot of stuff to happen. So, and they both got jobs. Or had jobs. But Bobby Petrino, I think, is still employed. Yeah. But, yeah, don't hold that against Ray Lewis. Don't do that. Hell.
All right. We got anything else?
No, we don't. Drop
what
the
about
classic picks, and then we'll get out of here.
What about a little NBA hot topic? I have one.
You want to talk about the NBA? Which one? You want to talk about the Sixers being trashed? They need to blow it up, and B needs to get traded, or they need to get rid of either one. They need to let Maxey go somewhere else because him and Embiid ain't staying together. Anyways, Milwaukee somehow is on a win streak because they hired Rajon Rondo as an offensive assistant, and they've been good. Kenneth is older than Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, and he's the best rookie. Surprise, surprise. The dude's 23. Of course, he should be good right out the gates. So Lakers fans chilling your little panties right there. Don't go crazy over him.
Okay. What about if you had an MVP candidate lined up right now?
MVP candidate right now? Jokic.
Jokic. That's what I would think too. It'd be Jokic.
And if it is MVP voter fatigue, then the idiots are gonna vote Tatum.
Or maybe
Donovan
I think
Mitchell.
Donovich would be right there too. Those three would be there. That's just me.
All right. So, with that being said, yes, Amy Richardson countdown to kickoff Friday. Time to be determined. Not sure yet.
24-21.
Go ahead and drop your score. Wait, what?
24-21. Same as Mississippi Valley.
So you got FAMU at 21?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Hey. Make him a believer. Mr. Sassor.
Mary School.
Look, dude. Hey, it's rivalry week.
Petty.
If FAMU wins, I have a graphic I'll be sharing. If FAMU can win.
I'm going to go 21-27.
Oof. Okay.
Touchdown.
I'll give mine Friday. I will give mine Friday. I'm going to try to be very blunt and honest as best as I can be about it.
Wait, so are you trying to do a stream on Friday or Saturday?
This stream for this one will be Friday because I will be in Orlando tomorrow. I will be too busy Saturday. A lot of moving parts on game day. Gotcha. So this one will be on Friday. I don't know the time yet, though. Okay.
That's what
I thought Dalton was going to come in my comment section when I did it Saturday, but he didn't show up.
I thought you were going to send me a link. Honestly, I thought because you said.
I thought you said you were going to just show up on YouTube.
I thought you were okay. Whatever. I guess there's some miscommunication.
It's all good. Yeah. If I knew, I would have sent you one.
Yeah, that's all good.
Well, Friday, make sure. Well, when I figure out a time, Friday, make sure if you want to be on it, you send me a message or something.
No, I'll be busy Friday. I won't probably make it. I got a lot of stuff to do Friday.
I leave from St. Louis back to Tennessee on Friday, so in the afternoon.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be extra this year.
Mhm.
No, you already have the thought. Say it, Jordan. Say it, JP.
No, I'm not gonna say it on this live feed.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do that.
The
See, now you're
after
trying to get me
show.
in trouble.
The after show.
Mm.
Sorry, guys. You
Exactly.
All right, guys. With that being said, thank you so much for another great episode of the Running Gun Podcast featuring Ace, JPeeps, and Dalton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. With all this being said, be a friend. Make sure you be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification so you can know when we have our next episode, whether it's a family breakdown or or another episode of the Running Gun Podcast. Anything else, guys? Before
We'll be running and gunning to you next week.
Okay, that's too corny. Let's not do that.
What? You gotta throw in some segues.
Jeez.
I
You
mean,
need to put that on. You need to put that on a box of cornflakes.
You know what? I'll put it on a
that
shirt.
need to be
I'll
shot.
I'll
Has
design a
JP
shirt for you.
sent a video? Did I send you the video or
You said
sent me
that.
the video? I don't. You said,
You said
the
that.
no. Remember the video we were talking about in the DMs or whatever when I was like, we said that was a shot that didn't need to be shot. Make sure you guys know which shots are needed to be shot.
Oh,
Some aren't worth it.
good night, folks.
Good
We'll
night.
see you. See you Friday.
Stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you Friday or next week.